And we are live! Yay! Hi, everyone. Happy Transgender Day of Visibility. Y'all, if anybody told me that I'll be able to pull this off, I'll say you're lying. But we're here. This is so beautiful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're joined by as many trans people as we could find. We literally went to the highways and the byways and we asked them to come and they came. Thank you so much to my co-mama beast, Kimmy. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, glad to be
Hi,
here.
Sarisa. Sarisa is just like stoic, ever the beauty queen.
I
Like
know,
always
right?
coming out to it.
Hello.
Hi, Sarisa. And of course, Aubrey. Aubrey, you're muted. Aubrey is joining us with her best friend and her co-pilot over there. We don't know their name yet. In a second, we will. And we are joined by Amore Rayon Kano, who is the current reigning Miss Trans Georgia. I cannot even believe it today. This is so cool. All right. So, needless to say, my name is Dr. Lulu, me llamo Doctora Lulu, and today we are celebrating two big things, Easter Sunday and Trans Day of Visibility. And whether you think the trans people stole the day or you think the Christians stole the day, we can all get along. We have to make some explanations later on. But I am also joined by Kim, who is going to introduce herself in a minute, Sarisa, Aubrey, Amore, and we have a bunch of other people who will be stopping in and just dropping by and joining us um, as time permits for them because I just asked people to join and they joined. So I happen to be a mom of a transgender child, but you usually not hear me talk about that. I am mostly here because I'm a mama beast, I'm an activist, I'm an advocate, and yes, we're also celebrating wins at the Georgia Capitol. We're celebrating my birthday week, the end of Women's History Month. I mean, just a lot of things happening today, and I think the beginning of spring. So, without further ado, oh my God, let me see. I'm going to just do a popcorn. I'm going to start with Aubrey. Aubrey, mi amor. Hi, Aubrey. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and why you decided to come on this show?
Yes. Welcome, everyone. My name is Aubrey Escalera. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I am your LGBTQIA liaison for Representative Park Cannon, District 58 for the Georgia General Assembly. But I'm also, yes, but I'm also your co founder for Trans Power by Diversity. And today we're celebrating Trans Day of Visibility. We just had our annual TDOV event hosted by La Choloteca and Familia en el Sur TQLA. And it was amazing. It was
It was
amazing.
amazing.
You know, Georgia. Well, for me, I was raised in the South. I'm originally from Mexico, and I am a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, undocumented, but also I've enriched the Southern culture, and I'm thankful for the community that gave me the opportunity to give back. And we hosted our annual TW event with our representatives, with our community, and celebrating our resilience, celebrating our existence. We've been here, we've been thriving, and we've been in the shadows, and it's time for us to just show out and show out. And I'm thankful to be here,
That's
and
right.
let's get this show started.
Let's get the party started. Yes.
Yes.
And just as you were speaking, one of our adopted sons, Sam Castle, joined the party. Hey, Sam.
Hello.
Sam, you're muted, baby.
Hey,
But as
hey,
Sam
hey.
is trying to get his mic to work, we're going to just do a popcorn up to Sarisa. Sarisa has been here since. Sarisa said, "See you at 6:40," and Sarisa was here at 6:40. We're not playing with Sarisa. Sarisa is not playing up in here. Welcome to our favorite Mama Beast who always joins us every Sunday, Miss Melissa Feldhouse. Melissa is joining us from YouTube. Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl. Hey. Melissa is also a Mama Beast. Um, Let me see. Mute this mic. Okay, so we are today celebrating Trans Day of Visibility with as many trans people as we could find. I'm so excited to welcome Sarisa. Sarisa, just say hi and tell the people, how did we even meet and why did you decide to come on this show? Impromptu, by the way. Everybody that is on this show right now, I just told them in the last couple of hours,
You
maybe
didn't
even
think anybody was going to show up at first. We were just like, do we have any guests? I don't know.
30
Look at this.
minutes.
Look at
Maybe
this.
30 minutes, yes. So I'm so excited. For those of you who can, please do me a favor and click share and share the video to your audience from wherever you maybe you shine most. Just share so that more people can watch, because I think the more we normalize conversations about transness, the more we decriminalize transness, the more we de all the things transness, the more people will begin to see and know some trans people. So, Sarisa, tell us, who are you and why did you decide to come on this amazing show?
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lulu. My name is Sarissa Farman. I am the president of Trans Ally Network, and that is how we actually ran into each other. We had our first annual Trans Ally Health Symposium in August of last year. We had 65 doctors be able to attend and were trained on how to treat transgender patients, and it was a huge success. But that's where I met Dr. Lulu. We just kind of ran into each other the night before at the restaurant. We hit it off and started chatting about so many things. It was so wonderful to really have someone to talk to and discuss things of such importance. But the reason I'm here is because we need visibility. We need people to speak up. We need a voice. When people are downplaying who we are and saying negative things, we need a voice to come out and say, these are the facts and this is the information and this is what you need to understand. And we don't have that. Our trans youth, they're going to grow up to be trans adults.
Yes.
And if we don't have structure in place for those trans youth to become trans adults, they're going to fall into a pit and an abyss. So really, we're trying to help build that community and start getting us to act more like one, have a voice, have support, and just be together and make a difference. But we need our allies. And it's about our allies helping us support, because there's so few of us. Mm-hmm. And without our allies behind us being our backbone and us standing up to be our voice, we won't survive this. So these are opportunities to talk about and discuss and promote and just be ourselves and appreciate everyone here. So thank you for letting me be here today, Dr. Lulu. Thank you.
And thank you for saying yes. Again, if anybody who's watching us, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, anything you want to talk about, today is the day you can ask as many. This is not Dr. Lulu and Kimmy talking. This is actually the voices of the people that we've been trying to represent as their parents forever. So today is not about the cis people, which is what I told y'all earlier on. It's about the trans people just showing up for themselves and showing up loud and just amazingly. And y'all, I never thought I was going to take a picture with a beauty queen before, but today I met a beauty queen for the first time. So the current reigning Miss Trans Georgia is in the building. Yes! So we're going to ask Amore Rayon to just come off mic and tell us, how are you and why did you decide to say yes to come on this show today? I'm so excited. Yes.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Amorion Cano. I'm a 23-year-old transgender woman from Atlanta, Georgia. As Miss Dr. Lulu stated, I am the reigning Miss Trans Georgia 2024. And honestly, it's a pleasure to be able to have that opportunity, to have that platform, to be that voice and that representation for my transgender community in all of the state of Georgia. I feel it is so important that we need to represent and show that representation, that diversity, celebrate that inclusion, and just be that representation for all of us together, bringing home that visibility. I feel like, as a pageant, as a title holder, it is so much more than just, the glitz and the glamour. Like with a title like this, it's about the advocacy. It's about showing up and showing out and speaking out against such negative propaganda that's being pushed against the transgender and gender expansive community. So I'm very appreciative of the invitation, Dr. Lulu. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I'm just hoping to, be a role model, be a positive influence to not just, my transgender and gender expansive community, but everyone, my entire queer community. I feel like we all have a story to tell, and regardless of where you're at in your transitional journey, whether you decide to, take hormones or not, get surgeries or not, all of our identities are valid, and it is important that we recognize that as a whole. So thank you so much.
Let me tell you, is there anyone here who's wondering why she's the beauty queen? I mean, you speak so well. Not that I was.
You can just picture the crown. You can just.
I mean, well, actually, you know what? Earlier on she had her sash on, but she doesn't have a sash.
Where's your crown? Go get your crown.
Where's the crown, honey?
Why are you not wearing your crown?
Sash, all of it, so good, so good. Oh,
that's right.
Rio is in the building. What?
Yeah. Now it's a party.
It's about to go down,
but now it's lit.
Rio is in the building. If y'all are looking for glitz and glam, Rio just entered the stage from the right. Welcome, my friend, my child, my cousin, all of that, Rio. So we are having a party today. I said to them, I'm going to try to see if I can get as many voices as possible. Y'all come, and whenever you feel you need to leave, just leave, no problem at all. But so far, so good, knock on wood. We are just welcoming. We're still doing our little welcoming statement. So if y'all have 2 or 3 minutes at the most, please just, oh, I don't see Pastor Elijah. Oh, okay. Oh, yo, Pastor Elijah is here. This is serious. It is serious. Okay. Who, Dr. Lulu, behave. Okay.
Get a grip, girl. Get a grip.
Okay. On a more serious note, I want to say welcome to everyone else who's just joined us. We're just going to do 1 minute of introduction so that we can get to the meat of the question. So really quickly, Kimmy, quick introduction, then Sam, then Rio, then Pastor Elijah, and then and then let's get the party started.
Well, you all know me by now, probably Kimmy, right? I'm your second co-host and Mama Beast, and I am the proud parent of 2 wonderful sons. My oldest is 22 and my youngest just turned 17, and they're both transgender. So I speak for the youth. I speak on, I speak when they can't have a voice, and I want to be that ally and that advocate, and any kind of activism I can be a part of to support you all in your fights these days, because it's a fight. It's a fight. We live our lives. We have fun. We party. We celebrate who we are. But you need your allies, and we're here to help. So thank you so much. I'm so honored to be in the presence of all my cubs here. They're all my babies.
Yes. Awesome. Yes.
I don't care how old you are either. You're my baby.
Yeah, Pastor Elijah, we can't see you. I'm not sure what's going on, just FYI. But yeah, continue. I think Rio, you're next. And if y'all want to share the video, go ahead and share the video so that other people can join us. But Rio, you're next.
Hello, hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Rio, or Rio Antone. I am based in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a 29-year-old non-binary trans individual. I am absolutely thrilled to be here today. I have dedicated my life's work to raising and embracing the education and enlightenment of the gender diverse community, also enhancing education about sexuality and sexual health. It is literally what I just eat, breathe, and live. Aside of that, I also am an entertainer and I'm just really excited to be here and to share my little wisdom and, loves of nuggets with you all, and to reciprocate the energy back.
Yes. And we are losing connection with some of us, but that's okay. We'll just continue. Sam, you is next, my baby.
I am next. What's up, everyone? I'm here. Dr. Lulu invited me. I'm Sam. He, him, his pronouns. Excuse me. I am a Black trans man, proud to be here, excited to be here. This day is about joy, peace, abundance, everything that we are. We're here. We're not going anywhere. I'm just here to support my community, and be a light in this world. We need it. I appreciate the invite, Dr. Lulu, and I appreciate being here with all of you, my trans siblings. It's good to be here.
Yes.
Good to be here.
Wow. No words.
Love
So
it.
really what I wanted to do today was and I stole this from Aubrey's event. I want all of us to just tell the people, what does it mean to you on a personal basis? TDOV. What does that day actually mean to you? We already have Tyrese on social media talking about asking Joe Biden for an apology because Joe Biden said today's Trans Day of Visibility. Unbeknownst to Tyrese, March 31st is always Trans Day of Visibility. Easter, on the other hand, can be anything from March 18th to April 18th. So Easter is the one that is trying to be a dog in the manger, but you don't hear me complaining as a Catholic, right? So sometimes there's so much ignorance. Our job is to try to educate people as we can. I love Tyrese, I love his voice, but this is unnecessary ignoramus they are showing to the world. March 31st is always going to be I have a friend who today is his birthday. I don't want to say his name, but today is always going to be his birthday. Now, if next year something else happens to fall on March 31st, then it's both things on the same day. It's one person didn't steal the other. I mean, hello. So I want to start with the beauty queen. Oh, by the way, Rio, just so you know, that is the current reigning Miss Trans Georgia. To your right. Yes, better recognize, like, talk about the crown. So Miss Trans Georgia, what does this day actually mean to you as a person? Remove activism, remove all the things that we want to say. For you as that little girl who once upon a time had a dream, what does today mean to you to be alive today as a trans woman of color? To be alive and shining and wearing a crown and a sash, what does that mean for you today?
So, excuse me for my parties earlier. I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm back. So for me, I would say Transgender Day of Visibility is about letting your pride be visible and just allowing yourself to live in your truth and living, let your experience speak for itself. I feel like every individual, whether it's transgender, cisgender, whatever the case may be, everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own journeys. Everybody has their own, struggles that they have been through. And I feel on specific days like this, it is so important to recognize that and remember that, we all had a past, but it's not about the past that defines it. It's about how we use that past as a lesson to better ourselves and to become better people. I always live by saying, I never try to be perfect. I never claim to be perfect. But what I can say is I always try to be better than I was yesterday. And I feel like that's something that we need to always remember. It's not about yesterday. It's not about tomorrow. It's about today. We have to live in the moment and remember that we have to be the best we can be today because tomorrow is never promised and yesterday was already gone. So that is what I feel Transgender Day of Visibility means to me.
I love it. I mean, all what she said, everything she just said, right? So good. What about you, Rio? Rio, I see you, snapping. And Pastor Elijah, I see you in the back and I'm trying to add you. Okay, there you are. Hi, honey. I don't know if your pastor can hear us, but Rio, what about you? What as a non-binary Black person who is living out loud? I'm going to talk about larger than life. Rio, that's you. What does it mean to be visible today? Finally, I don't know. I think it's been 15 years old since they've been celebrating TDOV, and up to now, some people still don't know it. What does that mean to you, that little person? Because that's what you are, a human. What does it mean to you to have been that little person, and then today to be, commanding stages in Las Vegas? What does that mean to you?
Well, I think honestly, when I hear Trans Day of Visibility, for me, it is about the idea of having pride in who we are. It's been an uphill battle since the dawn of our existence to be able to really truly be able to live and curate joy openly in multiple spaces and not have to divide the spaces in which we can be ourselves because of the fear of rejection, the fear of being hurt, the fear of being persecuted. And I think that in this day and age, It is like a sign and a beacon to say, continuously be who you are. And this day is going to celebrate you times 10 on that. We're going to stand 10 toes behind it. I think that, honestly, as somebody who grew up in a Christian household, despite the fact that I also identify very spiritually inclined these day and age, I absolutely feel like it is almost like a beautiful representation that is both Easter, which is Resurrection Sunday, and then on top of that, it's compilated with Trans Day of Visibility. You see the significance of how that looks, right? When you can say that these two things together, the day of a renewal, a resurrection, the day of a revival, and a renewing of the planet. And then here we have these beings on this earth who is a representation of the next step in, honestly, evolution, the next step in growth. I always say that everything around the world evolves. Technology has evolved. The way in which we even cultivate food has evolved. You think humans are supposed to remain the same 24/7 all the time? We are literally trailblazing the path. And I love that we exist in a day and age where we can celebrate it out loud and not just with each other. So I love it, especially for the little me.
Yes, for little you especially. I love this comment. And one of the things that we do on Instagram is also take the comments. So if you're on Instagram and you follow me on Instagram, share that video, please, because we want more people to hear this. For some, it may be their first time seeing real trans, because people still think that it's fake, it's not real. I mean, they don't know who they are. They don't understand. People still think that. So I want, for the sake of those who are in the dark about what it's trans, is it real? On Instagram, if you are on Instagram and you follow me, please share this video so that people can see it. But John Palomino is saying it's also National Potato Day, but you don't hear Christians complaining about being erased by potatoes. And it may sound funny, but it's real. Why do they want to pick on? If it was any other day, I bet you no one will complain. But because it's tragic. So all the more reason why we should have 25 trans people on this podcast today, 250,000, all of y'all talking about we are here, we're going to take up space, and we're not going anywhere. So I want to pop to, I guess, is it pop or I don't know, pop to Sarisa. Sarisa, I want you to tell us, what does TDOV mean to you personally? As y'all haven't seen Sarisa, are you like Sarisa? Are you like 6'4"? How tall are you? Because you're tall. You're muted. Uh-oh.
Can you do it?
I can. Yeah. Yes.
There you go. I'm 6 foot tall.
Yes. So Sarisa is 6 foot tall, but she wears heels. Okay. So to me, she looked like she was. I don't know how tall she looked to me. But Sarisa, when you walk down, you're like like a gladiator almost. Beautiful, feminine across like everything. Tell me, what does it feel like to finally be able to be that person today? And then to actually have a day dedicated to you. I think it should be 365, but what do I know? But what would you say? How does it feel to be able to celebrate that you are that person today?
So I want to reflect about when I was little. When I was little, I didn't know who I was. I was invisible. I didn't fit in. I was hiding as a youth in school that it didn't matter. I didn't matter. And I still have self-esteem issues to this day and have a hard time fitting in. So all these youths that are growing up who are able to come out their parents or who cannot, they still are very important. They need not to be how I felt when I was young. But to have a transgender day of visibility, it's that reminder once a year that says, you should be visible. You should go out. You should be seen. I isolate. I'm really good at hiding and not being in the present and avoiding things because I have that esteem issue. And you describing me as being this larger than life persona, I don't see it, but I am so thrilled that you see that, and it's encouraging and inspiring. And my viewpoints aside, if I can encourage and help provide that better place for people, that's my opportunity. Why I'm trying to step up and take advantage of the Trans Day of Visibility, because that's what we are. That's what we should be about, and that's what I strive to do.
I love all of it. This is so beautiful. I'm going to do something that I didn't want to do, which is basically put one of the mamas, one mama beasts on the in the spotlight. So Kim is a mom of not one but two transgender children, and let me tell y'all, Kim was my coaching client. Kim was my beta reader for one of my books. Kim has and I have been we've been together for a minute. But I want Kim to say, what does it mean hearing other people celebrating? I mean, this could be your children. I know we kind of joke,
I
tongue and
know.
cheek that they are our kids. But Kim, what does it mean? How you feel seeing these beautiful humans, different colors, different creeds, non-binary, Georgia Queen. Oh my God. How does it feel to you in this space? Like, how do you feel, Kimmy? I have no words. I have no words.
Do you want to know how I feel? I feel like I fought the last 10 years just trying to create a safe place for my kids, my kids that I birthed and brought into this world that is so chaotic right now. So trying to keep them safe, trying to keep and protect them mentally as well as physically is always a challenge. And to know that, my job here raising my kids, like Sarisa said, my trans kids are going to be trans adults one day. And to see all of you here celebrating, happy, healthy, wearing crowns, strutting it on Las Vegas stages, and being as stoic as like Sarisa with a Viking type strength that, I'm a Viking. The Dories were one of the first Vikings. So you're my girl. So you're my baby too. So, and Sam, I love you. But so I have all these new family members that I'm looking out for. And every day, every time I meet somebody new, like I haven't met a few of you now, but every day I meet somebody new, it regenerates my drive to make change. That's it. Just every time I meet somebody new, I get my batteries recharge.
Yeah, just like me too. And I think when I went into this work, because it's really at this point it's just my life. But I didn't think, I didn't know all the people I'm going to meet today. But thank goodness that I stuck with it. And they're coming out every time I go to places. More of them are coming out. Today I met the reigning Miss Trans Georgia. To me, that was everything for me today. I was so excited. I tried to contain my joy, but I tried. I did my best. But I want to hop on to what John Palomino mentioned. We need a day for parents, partners, supportive families, and allies of trans people. Maybe John doesn't know this, but we do have a day. November 17th, if I'm not mistaken, is Trans Parents Day. Now, it's called Trans Parents Day. I never known if it's only for transgender parents or parents of trans kids. But last year, I know that the movie The Dads came out that week. And in our podcast, actually, we released our first episode that day because we wanted it to be in alignment with that. So I didn't want John to think that we didn't answer his question. But that said, I want one of the transcripts, any of y'all, to answer this question from Sharon. I love the comment about allies. I wanted to know, how can allies be of assistance? Just asking because sometimes individuals want to help but may not know how. So this is not Kim and Dr. Lulu. This is coming from the trans people themselves. Maybe we can start with Aubrey. Aubrey, and I see you keep kind of going in and out, and I'm sorry about that. But Aubrey, because you and Sarisa are both, and really maybe even Sam as a representative of the 100 Black trans men. But Aubrey, let's start with you. Can you answer Sharon's question, if possible, please? And if y'all see me muting you, just because I'm trying to turn off the back noise, so just bear with me. But Aubrey,
Yes.
yes, can you please respond to Sharon? Sharon wants to know, how can allies be of assistance? She's just asking because sometimes individuals want to help, but they don't know how. So I'm just starting with you because your business is actually, your nonprofit is a kind of about allyship. At least it has the word ally in it.
Sometimes it just falls back on just volunteering. Reach out to your local res grassroots organizations and see how you can be a part of their help. You know, if it's in grant making, if it's in organizing, if it's in advocacy, if it's in just being a voice for that person. Representing an organization is important. Visibility is important, but also showing our generation, especially our younger generation, that there is someone there for you 24 hours. And reach out to your local organizations, send them an email, send them a message, reach out. And there's someone there, I'm sure, willing to respond to your message and involve you in the movement. You know, being a part of community, but also showing up, showing out, and voicing your story, sharing your story, and just being a part of history is what's most important right now.
I love it. I love the part about being a part of history, because that is really literally history in the making. I want to just shine a light really quickly on a beautiful soul who just started following me on Instagram. And for those of you who don't know, in the last 10 days, I've gotten 1,500 new followers because one video went viral. So, hey, here we are. So this lady is Leslie Steph 2021, is saying, I am a new 2002. I'm new as a mom of a new trans 12-year-old daughter. You know, I want to first give flowers to her. First of all, for watching the show. Second of all, for daring to put herself out there. One of the things I say about parents is, as our kids come out of the closet, we also have to come out of the closet. The moment our child says, Mom, I'm trans, that moment you are also coming out. For those of you who use the word come out, I don't use come out, but enough people use come out. And so thank you so much, Leslie, for saying I am new as a mom of a new trans 12-year-old. One of the things I said yesterday was, I said, for all the parents out there, remember that tomorrow, being trans day of visibility, your child may very well invite you in. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But Leslie is here as a mom of a new trans 12-year-old. I want to hop on to the beauty queen. Tell us, how should Leslie conduct herself? Thinking about you as a 12-year-old child, how would you have liked your mother to conduct herself? And so maybe give some advice to Leslie. So it's not me and Kim talking today. This is a rare opportunity for us to have the trans voices. Okay, I'm unmuting you. Okay, go ahead.
So personally, I would say that as a child, it is so nerve-wracking to, talk to your parents about this kind of stuff. So, I applaud your daughter for having the courage and having that trust in you as a parent to be able to tell you about this stuff. And as a parent, I feel like it is very important to build that trust, build that relationship with your child, because there are some parents and there are some children that still fear, rejection from their parents. They still fear, like, oh, what if my mom doesn't deny, what if my mom, disowns me, or what if my parents say no, or there's so much negativity that runs through a child's mind, especially at a child who is just barely entering their teen years. So I would say that as a parent, the best thing you can do is just reassure your child that regardless of what life choices they decide to make, that you're going to be there for them, that you're going to love them, that you're going to do your best to at least educate yourself on how you can be the best parent to your trans child. I've had the opportunity going to the Capitol. I've had the opportunity to meet a few trans youth, some of which, whose parents are very supportive. And I even got the chance to listen to some of the parents' stories. And it was, heartwarming to see that even though the parents might not have understood the ideology or how transgender works, the fact that they were willing to open their hearts and try to learn and try to educate themselves and try to be supportive to their child is such a great feeling. So I would say to any new parents to just be open minded and remember that we're in a time where it's more open in a way, because we've gotten in a time where even though society may still try to close us off and make it seem like it's something negative, it's not. It's just how we are. It's just human nature. Just like you can't decide, you can't decide what your skin color is, what race you are, what your hair texture looks like. Just like you can't decide any of that stuff. People don't choose to be transgender. People just are transgender. So that would be my piece of advice for any parents, new, old, aspiring. Just be open and educate yourself. So thank you so much.
Period. Period. We've always been here. We're not going anywhere. Be open minded. I love that. I'm going to hop on to Rio. Rio, for those of you who don't know, Rio is a colorful, Rio, I just know you were a colorful child. I can see. I didn't know you when you were here, but I see myself in you. I was a very colorful child. My dad just told me just now, he said, my daughter, my dad calls me activity, just so y'all know. My dad calls me activity because I'm always doing something. But for those of you who don't know me, he said, you've always been like this. So, Rio, what are your thoughts? How would you be there for this mom who's actually very excited that we call her name on Instagram? And she's like, yes, I'm working my way slowly, but yes. So, Rio, what would you say to Leslie about being that mother that her child needs today?
I would just say, when I was younger and I was trying to figure out and incite the knowledge of who I was as a person, I was a very different version of myself. I had extremely low self-esteem, because I was trying to navigate a world where I didn't see any visibility around me. So I think that what is very important as a parent is to showcase that you are an ally in every form. And when you are navigating this with your child, keep in mind your child is also navigating it for themselves. So it's not simply like, oh, they have all the answers. I'm just going to do whatever, what you say. You need to be somebody who is a protector, a supporter, a nurturer, and also help them on the journey that they're trying to discover for themselves too. You have to be a shapeshifter. And the reason being is because it is a job of a parent who really loves their kid to be able to access all versions of the duality, to be able to help them discover their best self. This knowledge is of course the idea we're centering around trans identity, but let's take out trans and say that we're just doing this for somebody who's navigating sex for the first time. You can apply the same thing with that too. So the reality is you don't have to do much different besides really brush up on your knowledge about the trans identity. And how can you go about that? Well, baby, we in the 21st century. Oh, I said 24th. We in the future. And we have Google, and we have so many sites that allows you at the draw of your fingertips to create and curate the knowledge that you need to be able to invest into your children. Not only that, but you also have allies and resources in community, most likely. You can go and Google, like we said earlier, the nearest community centers to see if there is resources available for maybe meet and greet groups, to where you can go ahead and meet individuals of the community so that way you can get more intel, or even ask if somebody can become a mentor to you and or your child, to where y'all can have somebody to have a on-site access and care to be able to like get the questions that you feel like you might not have the best answers to. Sometimes visibility is the most important thing. So even though you are a parent who cares so much for their child, you can only do so much as somebody who identifies, if you identify as a cisgendered individual. You need to put them in spaces where they can be around community. And of course, we know that is important to be able to do that in a way that's also safe. So just make sure that you're doing it with people that you feel is trustworthy, or situations that you feel like you can really build. And don't be afraid to look stupid and act, because you need to ask those questions too. If you don't ask those questions, it's going to be insatiably hard for you to be able to navigate your child's growth. And I think that it will draw a wedge between you and your child eventually, because as your child grow, you should grow too with the knowledge. If it is uncomfortable, or if it is something to where you're not used to doing pronouns or names, or having to change the way in which you interact with your child based off of their new identity and how they would like to be addressed, that is okay that it is hard. That is okay that it will take time. You have that conversation with your child and say, this will take time. And I promise you, I'm doing everything I can. And I will continue to do everything I can to make sure I check myself in every way. This is what I would like for us to do together. And y'all create a format and a system that works well for both of you, to where your child does not feel disenfranchised by their parent or overbarred just because they are the child. You make them feel equal in this right, because this is their life. You had an idea of them, but that idea is not no more. This is who they are. They have came into full consciousness, and they are telling you what is given. So either you're going to listen or you're not. But I truly believe you will. That's my advice.
Woo! That's a whole master class, y'all. Flowers. Look at Sam says Mac drop. Y'all, oh my God, flowers, please. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Instagram, please send flowers to Rio. That was a whole master class. I was taking notes, and I was like, I'm gonna stop taking notes. I'm just gonna listen. I love the fact that it's okay to be hard. I think I usually say parenting is hard but doable. Like I was like, it's okay to be hard. I love that. Giving permission for you to know that it's hard. Also, one of the things that I want to talk about is seeing Rio today. You would never believe that Rio had low self-esteem. I cannot believe you once had. This is so powerful, because one of the things that my kid struggled with was that. But what she did was she now over excelled in academics. She overcorrected. She did all the things. She shone and got all the A's. She was a 5-time state spelling bee champion of the state of South Carolina. She did everything so that I could see her. Yep. And so, parents, this is so important. Welcome to the space. Foster is one of our co-hosts, co-mama beast. Hi, Foster.
Hi, Foster.
Foster is also non-binary and Latina, so we are all Latina up today. Love it. I want to hop on to Sam Castle, because Sam Castle is a Black trans man. One of the people that people tend to forget that exists. When we talk about trans people, a lot of times, for good reason, you hear trans women, Black trans women, Black women, women of color, Black trans, all the things. Most people don't talk about trans men. And as a binary, I don't know, is that the word now, binary trans man? I think that's because you're not non-binary, right? Please correct me, because I'm also learning. Who in this capacity, by the way, is representing the 100 Black trans men, because Pastor sent me a text and said I should give the baton to Sam. And let me read his words so you don't think I made it up. He say, my apologies. I just moved into my apartment and my Wi-Fi is not cooperating. So he says, please give everyone my big love and big hugs. Sam is repping for 100 Black trans men. I have complete faith in him and his words. Wow. Sam, you're tagged. So Sam, tell us about that little boy, Black boy growing, and where that intersection between that Black boy, low self-esteem or not, and the fact that I always say, when a gender diverse child announces that they're gender diverse, that is the day that they become, there's an X marks the spot. They become a target. And like Next Benedict and Chevy Hill and Alex Franco and Nikki, the trans woman in Arizona, I think. All of them, the reason that they've all been unalive today is because they dared to say, I am trans. And so, Sam, help us understand the journey of a Black trans man, because all of a sudden you're a Black man. Remove trans. So tell us about that.
Wow. Thanks, Dr. Elijah Nicholas. Yeah, I'm repping for 100 BTM. Wow. Where do I even begin? I always knew who I was. It wasn't me questioning it. It was getting to that point where I didn't allow religion, my family, the outside influence, to stop me. For the longest time, I held on to this belief that, I was going to go to hell because that's what my mom told me when I came out. And then I got to this point a couple of years ago where enough was enough. I wasn't going to walk in that because that's not what I believed. And then I realized I could change my belief at any time. So that was her story, not my story. So now today I'm creating my own story and walking in my truth, and trying to be that voice for the voiceless. So I just it's so hard to explain. Like, I'm still in awe. Like, as that little boy, I always knew that one day I was gonna get here. I didn't know how it was gonna look. I just kept moving. I kept going. I had that faith. It was like that innate knowing. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but it's like a knowing, a deep knowing inside of you. And I'm gonna figure it out. And so that's what I've literally been doing. It's just figuring it out. And here I am amongst community. Like, I never thought that I would be in front of, other trans siblings, other powerful, human beings. But it was because I chose me that I'm here today. Like, I chose me versus choosing religion and what pastors from the pulpit had to say, what my mama had to say, what my daddy had to say.
Bring it.
I have a voice,
And that
and I'm
voice
and I'm
within was
choosing to
strong.
stand in that. I'm
Mhm.
choosing to stand on that today.
Woo!
Yes.
Talk about a mic drop. Everybody drop your mic.
Yes.
Ah! Yes! Look at Ria. Ria's like, boom. I love it.
Yeah.
I chose me.
Yeah.
I chose me. That's it. We all have to get to the point where we choose us way before anybody else. I'm going to invite a voice that joined us a little bit late, who is a co-host of this podcast, believe it or not. Foster Salinas has this Zen energy. We met in Washington, D.C. last year, and I was like, I need you on my podcast. I was like, I don't know anything. I just said, I need you on my show. And then they came on the show, and after the show, we're like, we need you as a co-host. Like, it was like, oh. So Foster, join us a little bit because life be lifing.
Yeah.
Foster, where would you take it from being a non-binary Latine? That is something that people don't talk about often.
It's
Non-binary. Go ahead. I'm
it's a
sorry.
lot.
I wanted before you say anything, I wanted to say something because I wanted to mention what Sam mentioned earlier as a voice for the voiceless. One of the things that I say on this show is my kid was not voiceless. I just wasn't listening. And I want us to see the difference. If we parents, we think that. And it's okay for Sam to say, because Sam is trans. So Sam can say that. But I want parents to understand that we cannot say that about our kids. Because they're talking. We're just not listening. No escuchamos. All right, go ahead.
Um,
Foster.
I think for me it was a lot. I'm from South Texas, born and raised. I'm Black and Mexican. I was raised Catholic. Just the way I was raised, I was raised mainly in my Hispanic culture. So I've always been taught, like, this is what a woman is. This is what a woman does. Like, this is what you were born to be, and this is what it. This is how you be it. And I've always connected with womanhood, but then I've also not felt connected to it, or it might be my neurodivergent mind where I've just had questions, and I'm like, why, why are those the rules? Um, you know, uh, so I think the older I got, I'm 31 now. I've been out as non-binary for 2 years. I have been questioning these roles and identities probably since I was like 12, maybe around puberty. So I think it just took a lot with the way I was raised and the way society ingrained certain things into us. For me to just accept, like, no, it's okay that I'm not a woman. I'm not a man. I'm just a person. I'm just a being, and this is just the vessel that I'm in. Like, this is
I
just what
love that. This is the vessel.
am.
And the one thing that I didn't mention is Foster is also raising their child outside of gender norms, which for me, that just, I was like, wait, what? Foster's kid has long hair. So when you see them walking in the room, it's like, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Does it matter? And I just love that about Foster. Foster, we don't like to talk about our kids here too much, but I need that because I want people to understand that we can also raise our kids outside of gender norms because They're fake anyway. They're made
Yeah,
up.
these rules, I don't know who made them or why we
Mm-mm.
have to follow them.
Yeah.
I didn't agree to that. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, I do conscious parenting with my child. So it's a little bit of a more liberated child-led mindset. And I think if you are doing the core fundamentals of conscious parenting, then you will not raise your child with those gender boxes. You know, my son can grow up and be a man, and he can dress like Prince, he can be like The Rock or something. You know, like he's there's so many versions of manhood. So whatever he chooses, if he's not a man, whatever he choose, if he's a person, if he's a woman, whatever. And my role as his mom is just to love him. It doesn't matter if his name stays his name. It doesn't matter, you know, he wants to dye his hair red, he wants to shave it off, he wants to get tattoos and piercings, he wants to be a trash man, he wants to be an astronaut. None of that matters to me as long as my child knows like he has a home. I don't know, I don't care what my baby gets into. I just want him to know if he gets into it, he can call mom.
That's right.
Call
That's
me.
right. So unfortunately, every good thing must come to an end. So I'm going to plead to all of y'all to just do 1 minute and think about this question. What would you say to your either your younger self, your current self, your future self, or today's gender diverse youth? So, everyone, you can pick whichever one you like. What would you say to your younger self, to your current self, to your future self, or to today's gender diverse youth? If you had 30 seconds to a minute to wrap it up, what would you say to them? And yes, we're going to do popcorn, so nobody knows who I'm going to call. But I'm going to call the beauty queen because I'm just like, woo, love it. All right, so you got 1 minute. And yes, I know it's 1 minute because we're almost out of time. But yeah, so how do I do? Okay, so you need to unmute yourself. Can you hear me, beauty queen?
I
Yes,
do have
okay.
time.
Amore Rayon, kind of, yes.
Yes. So I would say to my younger self and just any of my LGBTQIA youth, I would say to always remember that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, right now we're living in a time where the youth are being targeted and making it seem like everything negative is because of the youth and they want to protect the youth, but that's not the case. I believe that our youth are our most powerful tool. Why? Because they're going to be the ones that are going to come after us and are going to pave the way for the generations that come after them. So I believe that it is important to remind our youth that they are strong, they are powerful, and they can be anybody they want. Don't let society's standards and society's limits make you feel like you have to contain yourself to just one thing. You can be anything you want to be. You can be anyone you want to be. And keep your head up high, stay strong, and just remember to love with a purpose and with live with your actions. So that is what I would say to my younger self and my LGBTQIA plus youth.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we're going to pop to Rio because we can. Rio, what would you say to Rio? Will you talk to your younger? Who are you going to talk to? Because you is larger than life for real, and I love it. Who would you talk to, and what would you say to them? You get to pick, baby.
I would talk to my younger self, specifically at age 14.
Hmm.
I would say to you who think that you are an outcast, a freak, who don't see anything that looks like you or believe that thinks like you, I would say the quote that impossible things are happening every day. And because the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules, impossible things are happening every single day. And I would tell them to hold on just a little bit longer because I promise you, oh, baby, the 360 about to be real and the glow up about to be right. Get into the game.
Ay, 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 ay. Rio, will you marry me? Like for real? Will you marry me? Okay, we're going to hop on to I'm trying to get Sarisa. I'm trying to not say the wrong name, Sarisa, because I also had Safara who was going to come today, but this is Sarisa. Sarisa, what would you say? Who would you talk to, and what would you say to them? So beautiful.
That's a really good question. I think this would go to me as a younger child in elementary and junior high, and to all the youths out there. I know that it seems like being invisible is a solution, but we have the opportunity now to be seen. We actually have words for our youth to understand that being transgender is a thing. You're not a freak. You're not abnormal. You do fit in. There is a place for you, and you need to be able to stand up. But if you don't, it's okay. Because when you get older and when you grow up, you will find community and you will find family, and they are out there. You have your parents, you have your grown-ups, but family doesn't always have to be blood.
Boom.
Family can be the people in your life that love you, support you, and build that bridge for you to be you. And I would say, stick in there. Life gets better. Things are hard. Things are tough. But there are people out there that do love you no matter who you are. Find them. Find them and look for them, because they matter and you matter. You are critical to this world. So stay alive and be yourself.
I mean, yeah. Can we have a whole conference next year with all these speakers? Okay, I just planted a seed. Kim, remind me, it's on, it's happening. Because
here we go.
That's how I do. I just think of it and it happens.
Done.
I need all these speakers together in a space where we can all hug on each other, because y'all is dropping gems. Ooh, love it. Sam, what would you say to the little black boy? Or not, maybe your future self. I don't know. I don't want to put any. Who will you talk to, and what would you say to him?
To the little black boy, to anyone considering this, transitioning or in transition, remember why you're doing it. You're doing it for you. If you're doing it for validation, remember you don't need it. Validation has to start with you first. Love has to start with you first. If you feel like you're going to lose something, you may lose people and things along the way, but believe me, what you're going to gain is bigger and better than what you can even imagine. That's what I would say.
I know. I was just letting it sink. One of the things I like to say is, what if? What if it's even bigger than you ever imagined?
Bigger.
Yeah.
I went to give a grand rounds on Wednesday. I was a little nervous. I was like, I'm just going to go and just be the best that I can. I left the grand rounds with a job offer to come in as a professor. And I was like, wait, what? And I said, what am I going to teach? He said, whatever you want to teach. What? Like, literally talk about being better. And it's all because I told my story as an affirming mother who happens to be a physician. Like, what if it's bigger? Just betting on yourself. Thank you for saying that. In the last 2 minutes that we have, Foster, who will you talk to and what will you say to him?
I feel like all versions of me, because all versions of me probably need this quote, and it's something I live by. And I've said it on this podcast before, but I'm going to say it again because I feel like it's amazing for any LGBTQ plus youth, any of us in all of our phases. But the quote goes, will I be something? Am I something? And the answer comes, you already are, you always were, and you still have time to be. And that's what I would say.
That's beautiful.
No better place to end the show, y'all. Y'all, can I just say thank you so much to everyone who joined us today as the minority in the space, which is something that I don't get. It's a huge benefit that I don't get often, to be the one cis person in the space. I want to say thank you. I'm going to get emotional, but I want to say thank you because all of y'all, I told everybody today, and I didn't think anyone was going to come, and then y'all came.
Oh,
so
girl.
thank you so much for saying yes to me. Thank you for saying yes to you. Thank you for saying yes to this. I appreciate it. Y'all stay tuned because next year we're going to have a whole march. We're going to have a whole freaking conference because we can. We are winning. We are already winning. Look at what happened in Georgia. Look at what happened in Georgia. And I had something to do with it. I testified 4 times. I just moved to Georgia, and I testified 4 times, and I made friends with the head of health, and we're having lunch on April 8th. That's how you make changes, y'all. So thank y'all
Yeah.
so much for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having me.
for listening to me. Thank you
Thank
for letting me come here and just be who I am. Rebecca, thank you so much for showing us love. It's so cool. Y'all be blessed. Keep
Thank you.
just being authentic. Keep being yourselves. I want to take a photo because we're almost out. So everybody say cheese or something. Give me your best smile.
Hey.
Somebody take a picture, y'all. So ready, set. Hold on. Let me try again. Okay, ready, set. Okay, yay! Look at all the hearts. Yes, so good. Thank y'all so much. My name is Dr. Lulu. Y'all follow everybody. Everybody, tell them your social media so they can follow you really quickly. And join us next week. We have one guest coming, but y'all is welcome to listen, to join, to share the podcast, to share the video, to follow us on Apple and Spotify. And if you're a physician, I am having an evening of allyship coming up on the 4th of April. Talk about being like excited. That's what I'm feeling right now. An evening of allyship where we're going to come and first unlearn and then learn how to become the
Mm,
physicians that your
what you
patients
want to
need,
be.
because they're all hiding in plain sight. Your co-workers, your staff, they're all gender diverse, and they're hiding. And we didn't even talk about health inequities today. I just wanted to talk about celebration, because there is queer joy, there is trans joy, and there's freaking parenting joy. Okay, yes, there is. My kid and I today, we're not seeing eye to eye. Our relationship is strained, but because she gave herself permission to live authentically, she gave me permission to also live authentically. And that's why my pronouns are she, her, and mama beast. I'll see y'all next Sunday. God bless all of y'all.
Peace.
Peace, love, and soul. All my
Peace.
guests, please don't leave yet. Just stay for a minute. But everyone else, thank you so much for joining us on Instagram. All 50 of you that joined, so good. Thank you all so much for joining. This was amazing. Everywhere else, thank you all so much for joining. This has been amazing. My guests, please don't leave. I want to say something to all of y'all. All right, bye, y'all. Everywhere else. Oh my God, y'all! Thank y'all so much.
Oh my
Everyone,
goodness. Yay. Thank you.